The views and opinions expressed by the On the Spot with David Rodgers show are solely based on the show's hosts, guests, and viewers. We are solely responsible for all show content in its entirety and does not necessarily reflect the opinions of any sponsors in any way. These broadcasts are presented and made public by the On the Spot with David Rodgers team in the hope that it'll be entertaining and informative to our viewers and listening audience.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's 7 o'clock and time for On the Spot with David Rodgers. And now, here he is, Mr. Friday Night, the show pony himself, the man, the dream, the legendary David Rodgers.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to On the Spot with David Rodgers. I'm your host, David Rodgers, alongside Byron Bagwell tonight. Great to have you along. Tonight, sponsored by Miracle Automotive and Recovery in both Stark and McClinney. When it comes to an automotive servicing or towing, Miracle gives you the best care anywhere. Call Kurt and Kenny Miracle at this number, 904-368-1114. Miracle Automotive, where miracles happen every day. Let's get this show started as we always do, with our prayer, our pledge, and our patriotic quote of the night and the week. I'm sure you have one.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
As always, it's good, too.
That sounds good. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, and everybody in the studio, let us pray. Our righteous Heavenly Father, let us once thank again for a wonderful and glorious day you've given us, dear Lord. Let us thank you for the beautifulness outside and the day that you have given us. Even though it was a work day, dear Lord, for some, and some for not for others, but you've given us a wonderful day. Thank you for letting us do this show, On the Spot with David Rodgers, our crew, our people, our brothers, and our sisters. Even though we don't have any sisters with us amongst us tonight, but we do have some as sponsors. Keep blessing them, dear Lord, as they're doing the hard work to put this show together, dear Lord, and that the information that we give is entertaining and informative to all our viewers. Thank you for letting us live in the greatest country in the world today, the United States of America, the most powerful, the most freest country, dear Lord, in this whole world today. Thank you. Keep blessing it, dear Lord. Put your hand over it, dear Lord, as there are things that are going on within our great nation. You are able to be the one, dear Lord, that you can put your hand over it and help fix and heal what is going on today, dear Lord. Thank you for our armed forces, each and every one of those young men and women that are serving in the greatest armed forces in the world today. Thank you for their service. Keep a hedge of protection over them, dear Lord, as they are out there fighting to keep our rights, our freedoms, and our liberties right here in this great country, dear Lord. It's the fight against domestic and international terrorism, dear Lord. Please keep a hedge of protection over them and bring them home safely to their families. Also, the veterans that have served and given the ultimate sacrifice, and that's their lives, dear Lord, so we can live in this great country. Thank you for the food that we receive each and every day. It goes in the nourishment of our bodies and our bodies to thy service. Any spoken or unspoken prayer requests, dear Lord, that you touch each and every one of them. You're the ultimate healer, dear Lord. You're the ultimate comforter. You can touch each and every one of them. Please bring comfort, not only to them, but the loved ones or their friends that are hurting today, dear Lord. Thank you for our first responders, each and every one of them, not only in our county, dear Lord, but all over, as they're putting their lives on the line each and every day to make sure that we're safe each and every day and night. Thank you for those guys, dear Lord. Also, our farmers, anybody that provides food, and anybody that provides a service to this great nation, dear Lord, that you touch each and every one of them. Thank you again for this great day, this great week we're going to have, and this great show we're going to have tonight, dear Lord. And we ask for these things in your Son's name, Jesus Christ. And the congregation says, Amen. Amen. Let us stand for the pledge. I'm going to ask Mr. Byron Bagwell if he'd lead us, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen. All right. Let's please be seated, and I hope y'all are comfortable in your homes tonight. My name is David Rodgers. I'm your host for On the Spot with David Rodgers. To my left is our national guy, the national correspondent, the guy that knows all when it comes to politics, when it comes to history. You want to just keep going?
Yeah.
And when it comes to man buns. No.
No man bun.
Oh, okay. All right. We'll leave that out.
Leave the man bun.
All right. My co-host, Mr. Bagwell. If you look over to the right, there's a ghost there, Barry.
Yeah.
Because Mitchell Gunner is under the weather tonight. He is watching. And Mitchell, we hope you feel better, and you'll be able to come back on with us Friday.
He's missing the cookie.
Yes, he is, and you'll show them here in a minute. To my left over here is the guy that directs the show, gets everything written up, gets us in going shape, gets us ready and on time. Give it up for Michael the Dragon Slayer Heater. Say hello, Mike.
Good evening, folks. Welcome aboard.
And listen, as you said, Michael, earlier, back with us tonight for some local weather is our very own Austin, the Storm Chaser, Steven. Hello, Austin.
Good evening.
All right. And to my right, the pretty guy on the set, the guy with all the hair, the guy, I tell you what, he could be a model at his age. He is our senior producer, Super Dave Holland. Say hello, David. Okay.
Well, everybody in on the joke.
Yeah, we'll let everybody in on that joke. Yeah, hey, and I'll take, yeah, they got. Hey, and I'll take that $20 that you promised me to.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dave Holland, the man who has the perfect voice for a mime.
There you go. That's him. Yeah, Dave Holland.
Thank you.
And we're going to get to our patriotic quote of the week, but I had somebody ask me, what about our nicknames? Well, I'll just give you a couple. We are the DOR. What does the DOR stand for?
The Defenders of the Republic.
And we are the new high priest of the Church of the Painful Truth. There's a couple of them for you. We'll go over some of the other ones later on.
Sure.
How about that? Anyway.
Thanks, Neil Bortz, by the way.
Yeah, thank you, Neil Bortz. I love that guy. All right, what do you have?
Well, the liberty of those persons who are free from external restraint in the exercise of rights which are considered to be outside the province of government control.
Michael? Don't look at me. I may be lost on this one.
John Adams.
Nope. Okay. Austin?
I pass.
Donnie? David?
Is he alive?
No. Not with language like that, no.
I'm gonna go Benjamin Franklin.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it is, but I'm gonna go Benjamin. I figured that.
Thomas Jefferson.
Well, I'll be daggone. I don't know then.
Merriam-Webster.
Really?
And before anybody says anything about that, it's actually not a quote.
Oh.
That's the definition of personal liberty.
Nice. Okay.
Very good.
Well, I decided to do something a little bit different. We talk about liberty.
Yes.
We talk about personal liberty, but nobody ever defines it. So I figured tonight I would go ahead and give everybody a definition of personal liberty directly from a dictionary. So,
Well, there you go.
It's one of the most important things that our government grants us,
You're exactly right. Well, look.
which they really don't grant us.
Right.
The definition just said.
Yeah, they don't grant man buns either. But anyway, hey, don't go anywhere because the 360 starts right now. This is the 360, your news and weather update in 360 degrees in 360 seconds. Brought to you by tonight, Southern Gym Photo Booth. Call 904-263-6079 and let Megan not only bring fun to your event, she can make it, Byron, picture perfect. We begin tonight with breaking news in Alachua County, where 2 major crashes a day resulted in 1 death. Earlier this afternoon, one person was killed in a crash in Waldo on US 301. A semi and a passenger car collided in the 14,900 block of US 301 around 12:30 or so. And happening now, emergency crews are taking up from a crash involving someone trapped in an overturned vehicle, Byron, on Butler Boulevard at Southwest 30th Place. Wow. Staying in Alachua County, a joint investigation between Alachua County and Dixie County Sheriff's offices are underway following the discovery of 3 bodies this morning. A family member requested a well-being check for Paul Reinhardt and his children. Alachua County deputies checked the home in the 10,000 block of Southwest 27th Avenue just around 6 a.m. Reinhardt had been sending several cryptic Facebook posts overnight and sending concerning texts to family members. Dixie County deputies found Paul Reinhardt's van at a home near the town of Suwanee and the home on fire. After extinguishing the fire, deputies found 3 bodies inside the home. The investigation is continuing in what law enforcement says appears to be a murder-suicide. Ocala police are investigating a burglary to an unmarked Marion County Sheriff's Office vehicle that happened yesterday. Police say a drone was stolen from the police vehicle. Wow, whoops. Yours, Mike?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Anyone who may have information is asked to contact the Ocala Police Department at 352-368-5408. That's 352-368-5408, or Crime Stoppers of Marion County at 352-368-STOP. And as always, Byron, you can remain anonymous. That's exactly right. The Florida Department of Education has recognized Jennifer Halter, principal at Green Cove Springs Junior High School, as the top principal in the state for 2021. Very good. Principal Halter is in her 6th year of serving as principal at Green Cove Springs Junior High. As an assistant and vice president, Halter helped lead the school from a C school, Byron, to an A school, which has been maintained under her leadership. Outstanding. Great. Moving on to Putnam County, where a 14-year-old brought a fixed blade knife to C.H. Price Middle School in Interlochen yesterday. Are you kidding me? Youth resource deputies on campus were notified and took the student into custody. He was arrested and charged with bringing a weapon onto a school campus. It's getting more rampant.
There goes a felony for a 14-year-old.
For a 14-year-old, exactly right. Finally, a reminder that hurricane supplies go tax-free this Friday before Memorial Day. Generators, Byron, under $750, coolers, batteries, weather radios, and more are tax exempt. That's a nice time to do some shopping right there. Bradford County Emergency Management officials hope the tax holiday will serve as a reminder for residents to get ready for hurricane season, which kicks off when, Byron?
June 1st.
June 1, and I'm sure we'll hear that from our weather gurus here in just a little bit. That's the latest news from around the region. Now, here is your weather forecast.
This weather report brought to you by Austin's Weather Service out of Keystone Heights. Find Austin's Weather Service on Facebook and have a detailed local forecast sent right to you.
So here we go. We'll be with our weather here in just a second right here. We have Austin Stevens giving our latest on our local weather.
Good evening, everyone. After a hot day today, you can expect temperatures to drop down into the lower 70s, muggy tonight. We'll also have heat index overnight in the lower 70s. Now, we will have a cold front come through starting tomorrow with showers and thunderstorms building, and it will drop our temperatures back down into the 50s at night and 80s during the day. But hold on, the 90s will be back next week. Hurricane season will start June 1st, but the National Hurricane Center will start issuing advisories on May 15th. You can join our Austin's Weather Service Hurricane Center group on Facebook. Back to you, David.
Thank you, Austin, for that
This
great
weather report brought to you
report.
by Austin's
And,
Weather Service
hey,
out of
Byron,
Keystone.
Here we go. Hot temperatures. Hey, June 1st, hurricane season. Already starting to put hurricane advisories together. Guess what? I wonder if we're going to. Let me ask Austin this. Are we expecting a big hurricane season this year, Austin?
We're expecting about a little bit higher than average. The oceans are getting really warm.
Okay, so there you go. So, anyway, hey, there we go, Byron. Hey, at least my sinuses are starting
The ease off,
Hey, ease off
a little bit, you know, and
Yeah.
always, I'll stop.
There you go.
I'll stop with the hurricane stuff.
There you go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as you all know, I host trivia each and every Thursday night at the Downtown Grill. Here's your Thursday trivia hint. By the way, Michael Heater says he is taking your ASS to the bank each and every week. Each Tuesday night, we tease you with the answer to one of the questions from Thursday night team trivia at the Downtown Grill, hosted by yours truly, David Rodgers. How about that? The trick is, we don't give you the question, Byron. You have to come out for trivia night on Thursday to play, and the top 3 teams with gift certificates from the Downtown Grill. So that's a 20, a 15, and a 10, and a chance to win a free appetizer. So, I'm going to give you the answer this week.
Yeah.
So here's your clue, and be sure to come out Thursday night at 7 p.m. Get there early. Ask Byron and Mitchell and Dave. You got to get there early, because if you want your food and get ready to play for trivia,
Yeah.
you need to be in your seat, because we start at 7:30 at Thursday night at the Downtown Grill. The answer is hurricane.
Just like a hurricane coming.
Just like the hurricane.
Here's my response to what Mr. Heater was saying.
Okay.
Well,
See, won't even let you do it. All right. Pusillanimous. That may be a trivia question, Byron. So anyway, hurricane is your deal. If you're playing Thursday night team trivia, you better make sure you write that down, or you better make sure you're watching On the Spot with David Rodgers, because that is the only place, Michael, Byron, David, Austin, you can get that answer, right?
Yep, and you'll be able to get it on YouTube starting tomorrow.
Whoa, hey, I didn't even give away that secret.
and what was the answer again?
Hurricane.
Hurricane.
Yeah.
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 Now, here's your favorite segment that brings back a little history. Brought to you by our great media partners, WEAG Eagle Country 106.3 FM, Chuck and Mary Kramer and Lynn Bellis, who I work for during football season, bringing you Tornado football. Excited about the season, but we'll talk about that another day. And the Bradford County Telegraph, John Miller, John Ryan, Elizabeth Tillman, of course, the new owners of Sporting Chance, Mark Crawford, and of course, Cliff Smelly. Here's what's the date. These are the headlines from the Bradford County Telegraph during the first week of May in what year? Keystone grad killed in Afghanistan. UCR points to more theft and assault, and DCF closing Bradford Service Center. Was that April of 2011?
May.
May of 2011. Hey, that's like, hey, Michael, he was trying to throw me off. May of 2011, May of 2012, or May of 2013. Keystone grad David killed in Afghanistan. UCR points to more theft and assault, and DCF closing Bradford Service Center. Was that May of 2011, May of 2012, or May of 2013? All right, I'll read the first one, Byron. You read the second one, I'll read the third one, okay? Sergeant Dick Lee, a 2000 Keystone High School graduate, died when his vehicle struck an IED in Ganzi province. A second soldier was also killed.
Wow. The Department of Law Enforcement reported an increase in specific crimes in Bradford County, but also noted the number of crimes solved by law enforcement was also on the rise.
Yes, sir. And then the third one is the Florida Department of Children and Families reported they would be closing the Access Service Center for Public Assistance on Andrews Circle in Stark in October. Keystone grad killed in Afghanistan. UCR points to more theft and assault. at ECF Closing Bradford Service Center. Was that May of 2011, May of 2012, or May of 2013? Again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into On the Spot with David Rodgers. To my left, my co-host, my brother from another mother, one of my best friends right here, Mr. Byron Bagwell. Say hello, Byron.
Good evening, infidels.
That's it. Another one of my great friends and one of my brothers, the director of the show. You just heard him help out with the weather a little bit. That is Michael, the Dragon Slayer Heater. You just seen the guy giving the weather. Hey, owns Austin's Weather Service. Yeah, good. It's a great report. Also, handles our YouTube. He's the one that puts the shows on YouTube. He does a lot of work behind the scenes. The handsome Austin Stevens. Say hello, Austin.
Hi, David. Don't deserve all the credit, but thank you.
Well, you're welcome. And to my right, hey, the guy, the man, the myth, the legend. He is Judas Priest. Judas Priest got a song about it.
Which one?
You got another thing coming. That's Mr. Dave Holland. Super Dave, say hello.
God bless you, man.
And of course, my name is David Rodgers, your host, alongside of the ghost, the missing Mitchell Gunner.
Thought you were going to say breaking the law.
Well, I've done that a time or two. But anyway, the missing Mitchell Gunner, he is under the weather. He'll be on tonight, chiming in, I'm sure. Hope you get to feeling better, Mitchell. That's for sure. So anyway, hey, this is your chance to play. May of 2011, May of 2012, May of 2013. We do have a winner this month, but let me tell you why this plays. So if you get the answer correct, you get to be put into a pot that's going to be drawn at the end of the month. And at the end of the month, if we pull your name, you will win a $25 gift certificate from the Downtown Grill. Use it any way that you want. You can use it on trivia night, Byron. You can use it Sundays. You can use it Tuesdays. You can use it whenever you want. Take your significant other out. Take your mom and dad out. Take her whatever out. Got to be careful with some of that. But anyway, we do have a winner this month. So while you're doing your guesses, I'm going to turn it over to our director, Michael Heater, and he has us a winner. Michael, by the way, how many entries did we have? If you can give a little background of what's going on with that.
Absolutely. We actually had 33 different entries. Now, several of those were multiples.
Right.
So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead
And pull the name out of the old fire helmet, as we like to say.
Yeah.
And that gives us an opportunity to kind of just see what it is. So you guys are going to see it as we do. Dave and company, they don't know. We're going to reach right in here. We're going to stir it up like that one. We got the fire helmet right here, so we're going to reach inside and see what we can find out here. I'm not even going to look. I'm just gonna
No
look.
skullduggery going on.
No skullduggery.
Got the old fire helmet going like this.
Wait, hold up. Hold up. Pull it back up in the camera again.
Yes, I know. You can.
Okay, guys, there is yellow.
There is yellow on the helmet. Yes,
it's
there is.
actually not empty.
No,
it's not. It's not empty.
It is not empty. So we'll hold it up like that one. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to reach in, stir it up.
Stir it up. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, pull out.
Pull out. Byron Bagwell. And the lucky winner is, let's give a drum roll, Byron. For this
Well, I'll be damned.
Who is it?
Roy Jackson.
Roy Jackson. Wow.
Roy Jackson. There you go. So, Roy, congratulations. You are the winner of the $25 gift certificate from the Downtown Grill. We appreciate you and everyone participating. Tonight is the first night for the month of May. Again, every Tuesday night, every other Friday night, make sure you throw your name in the hat, get the answer correct. We will put you in the fire helmet, and you will get a chance to win a gift certificate as well.
So here's your chance right now, as Michael said. Let's get your guesses in, because we want to continue on with the show. But I'm going to read off some of our comments. Roy Jackson, the winner, welcome in. David Adams, one of my best friends from high school. He is over in Theodore, Alabama. Gail Allen's watching. David Versace from Van Cleve is watching. Byron Bagwell's watching. Debbie Adams-Eichman is watching from Grand Bay, Alabama. Bobby Gibson, a lot of Alabama people tonight, watching from Birmingham area. Janet Rolls on. Anthony Black From where? T-Town, Tallahassee. Jeff Goins is on. Sheila Lyons. Raymond No, a past winner. Sharon Pettiford, the model. Good evening, good show to you all. I look forward to Tuesday nights at 7. We look forward to entertaining you too, Sharon and Edward, at 7. Randy Brooks is on. Paul McDavid. He hadn't been on in a while. Hello, Paul. Hello, Anthony. David, we will address that. Byron, can you address this in your segment? I'm sick and tired of people asking me why I'm not going to get the COVID vaccine. He said that's his choice, and he has his own personal reasons. We'll let Byron address that here in his segment. Patricia Breaker says, prayers for Mitchell. Absolutely. Sharon Pettiford says, me too, David Adams. It's not for me. David Versaga says, I won't be taking that communist vaccine either, David, so you don't have to feel like the Lone Ranger, brother. Will Smith. Hello, Will. How are you? Dwight Allen. Good evening, my fellow brother. Ready for spring football? Nate starting at center. I'm so ready. We are ready for spring football.
Yes, sir.
I'll talk about that here in the local segment. Mary Salvatore is on. Byron, why don't you do the honors? Miss Mary Salvatore.
Another chocolate chip cookie.
She made for us. They're not, Michael, they're not really that good.
No.
Yeah, here you go, Dave. They're not, well, wait a minute. You're taking the whole thing. Wait a minute.
I'll try one.
Yeah, you're going to try one? Hey, let's buy them. I'm going to try.
I already tell you what it is.
Me too. Wow, those are delicious. Don't worry about it, Michael. Hey, the rest of them suck. Don't worry about it. I'll take care of them. Yeah. Benny Jackson's on. Greg Padgett's on. Stephanie Clark Merrill's on. What football team sucks worse than FSU? The Hurricanes. We disagree. Me and Byron think the Gators do. Mary Salvatore.
No. Whoa.
He says, what football team sucks worse than FSU? Says the Miami Hurricane.
I agree with that.
Well, wait a minute. FSU don't suck.
That's right.
So
Therefore, Miami sucks worse than FSU.
So how about Miami sucks worse than the Gators?
Yeah.
There we go.
I can agree with that one.
All right, yeah, there you go. Mary Salvatore said 2012. Alan says 2012. David Versaga says 2012. Randy Brooks says 2012. Lydia Morris, a past winner. Hello, how are you? Jackson says 13, the winner this month. The model, Sharon Pettiford, says 13. Mitchell Gunner says 2012, but he's not eligible for the prize. But Benny Jackson says 2012. Joseph Sayers, how are you? Hollywood Jones. I like that. Hollywood Jones. Like that.
Hooray.
Benny Jackson, good evening to you. Lydia Morris says 2012. Mitchell Gunner says, thank you for all the wishes. And Daryl R. Woodruff is on. Hey. All right. Last chance to get your guesses in right here. We'll go around the table. Byron, 11, 12, or 13?
I'm going to go with 11.
Okay. Michael?
It's either 11 or 12. I think Byron, he's like knows stuff. I'm going to go with Byron and say 11.
You're going to go 11. Okay. David?
I think, with all the 12 and the 13s that we picked, it's kind of influences me, but
right.
I'm breaking that cycle.
Okay.
I'm going to go with 11.
You're going to go with 11. Okay. So, it did, bull crap. You just got influenced by them two. I'm going to go with You weren't fooling anybody there, Mr. Peanut Butter Cookie.
He's on a roll tonight, by the way.
Yeah, well, I'm on
by the way, somebody wanted clarification for the what is whatever.
Oh, okay.
About using this gift certificate.
Yeah.
They wanted to know what a whatever was.
Okay, I'll let them know that here in a few minutes. But I'm going to tell them why I'm feeling so good in the local segment. Anyway, I'm going to go opposite of you. I'm going to go 2012. All right. Any more guesses? All right, guys, here's your chance. Where's Miss Bagwell? I don't know. I don't either. I don't know where Miss Bagwell's at. So, well, anyway, here we go. Now, Michael, we got to continue on with the show. Let's get a drum roll. Roy Jackson, previous winner. Let's see if he can get another entry in. Give it to me, Mike.
And bam!
Daggone! Hello! You suck. You suck. You suck. All right. How about that?
Man.
That's a few in a row for me, boys. Well, heck, I bet it's pretty good. Since I helped write it.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, anyway.
Yeah.
How about that 2012? So, there we go. Anybody that said 2012, they're in for it, Byron.
Yeah.
Hey, and that $25 gift tip is always a good thing.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. All right. Thank you for joining us on that part of the segment, which is one of our most popular segments, by the way. And we will be right back after this message for the roundtable.
Hey Tornado fans, this is Kurt Miracle of Miracle Automotive and Towing, proud sponsors of Tornado Football. I want to welcome you to beautiful Stark, Florida at David Hurst Stadium, and thank you for letting us be a part of this community. We're here for more than your automotive and towing needs. We're here to be part of Tornado Country. Go Big Red!
We don't have any sound right now, okay? Dave, our technician's working on that right now. We good, Dave?
We got that now.
Okay, we got that now. Oh, and look at here. Here's the phone line, Michael. Let's go ahead and get the phone because this is very important.
That's going to be his phone.
Oh, that's going to be, okay. So that's not the show phone. No. All right. So anyway, our sheriff, Gordon Smith, and the Bradford Sheriff's Office presented life-saving awards yesterday morning. And one of the recipients to get that is our very own Dragon Slayer, Michael Heater. Dave, can you throw the camera back on Mr. Heater, please?
It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, it is a big deal. It's a life-saving award, and it's a life-saving medal, ladies and gentlemen, that our very own Michael Heater has got, and we want to congratulate him, not only on just this achievement here. If y'all don't know Michael Heater does a lot of other things within the sheriff's office. He dispatches. He goes out on calls. He could probably run an ambulance if you needed him to. Yeah. He's pretty much qualified in everything to do with this. But I want to congratulate Michael Heater on this beautiful life-saving medal. Michael, here you go, buddy.
I appreciate it.
Man, thank you. Congratulations, Michael. Put that on, Mike. Put that on because we've got the weather that we're going to be doing. Congratulations, man. I'll tell you what, that's a heck of an accomplishment right there. That shows you, ladies and gentlemen, that our team, David, you know, we're always out there. We try to catch the breaking news, which we do probably, what, Michael, 90% of the time?
Oh, yeah.
Would you say 90% of the time we're catching the breaking news, wherever that may be? You know, we're trying to get the best stories out there for you. We're trying to do it first. We have a great crew, and that's just one of the things right there that, hey, when you got a good team does good things, and plus the people in it, Byron, do good things. And I tell you what, that right there is
It's a very special award for a person who really does work very hard for this community.
Yeah, Sheriff Gordon Smith had immediate release about this life-saving award. And on Monday, May 3rd, several BCSO deputies and 911 communication officers were recognized and received well-deserved American Police Hall of Fame awards. And the award ceremony was held at the monthly Morning County Commission meeting. Our very own Dave Holland was there getting some film. We hope to have that for you here coming up in the next week or so, or 2 weeks, or couple of days. Okay. Sheriff Gordon Smith presented the awards, and our commissioners joined in honoring the BCSO members for their life-saving and heroic deeds. Sergeant Tanner Foreman, Master Deputy Haley Flynn received the Hall of Fame award for bravery for a rescue they performed back on January 22nd, Byron, of this year. A woman was being held hostage in a motel room by a male subject who was actively assaulting her with a knife. Confronted with a locked door, these deputies forced their way in and encountered the male suspect holding the knife to the victim's throat. The deputies required and received immediate compliance from the suspect, who dropped the knife and was taken into custody. The female victim was rescued and was treated for her wounds. And Byron, the good news is she made a full recovery. Also, Deputy Cameron Perkins, 911 Communications Corporal Megan Hatch, and former communication officer, now emergency management planner, we've just seen him, our very own director, Michael Heater, received the Hall of Fame Life-Saving Award in reference to their action taken on February 24th, 2021. If y'all don't remember this story, which we all do, we're going to rehash it a little bit. Michael Heater was realizing that time was of the essence, directed to the family to the neighboring elementary school where Deputy Cameron Perkins was assigned. Deputy Perkins and emergency medical services were directed to meet the family at the school. Deputy Perkins immediately continued CPR in the school parking lot. The actions resulted in the child regaining a pulse and breathing. Paramedics arrived and transported the child to a medical facility where he made a full recovery. 2 full recoveries right there.
And that was a 1-month-old child, too.
Yes, it was. Congratulations to all those guys. Well deserved.
They were there also that day that the awards were being passed out.
Yeah, they were. So, excellent news. So, again, here's the round table. We're going to continue on. The phone line's open just for a few more minutes. 904-458-7588. If the line is busy, you can leave a message and we'll read your message on the air. Or you can also try to call back if you wish. So, excuse me. Byron, what did you have on yours? Do you have anything there?
Congratulations.
Yeah.
To Michael, and also we had a comment from David Adams saying dispatchers do one demanding job.
Yep, they do.
Great job, Michael. Proud of you. There's a question from Edward Pettiford. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Does anyone have any idea when we will see the streets being cleaned again by inmates?
Size matters.
Sorry.
Well, that's not your answer, Edward. Hold on a minute.
Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Wow. Sorry. There you go.
Does anyone have any idea when we will see the streets being cleaned by inmates? Some areas in Stark are looking bad.
All right, if I may answer, Michael, and I know you can go in depth a little bit. I got a call about a week ago from the Assistant Superintendent of Schools, Mr. David Harris. Called me up and asked if we could give a bid on mowing all the schools, because right now the inmates are on lockdown and they can't mow the schools right now. So I do have that proposal. Mr. Harris, if you're watching or if your lovely wife's watching, I will send that to you. We've had a chance to go around to the 4 schools that you told me about, and we will get you that quote. Here is the thing right here. Michael, why is that lockdown in effect for those guys, and why ain't they out there, like he said, cleaning and doing the things to the school as they should be?
Well, and that's a great point. And the reason is because basically we're dealing with
the remnants of the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, the good news is that with Governor DeSantis, and speaking with former Governor Scott up in Washington, so Governor DeSantis has made the decision to go ahead and lift all restrictions. That set off a bit of a firestorm in Alachua County, of course, as you probably well know, because they're big on, restricting people's freedoms. Did I say that out loud? No, anyway, moving on. But
how dare you besmirch the People's Republic of Alachua County?
So, in a nutshell, though, there are still some other concerns that you have when it comes to utilizing the inmate forces for these projects and that sort of thing like that. There's a little bit more of a greater step because of the confined population of them possibly taking something back into the system until they get more vaccinations done and that sort of thing like that one. So it is going to return. We don't know when. That's actually kind of falls on the heels of the Department of Corrections, because what you're talking about is in the city of Stark, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
City of Stark, they use inmate labor from the state, not necessarily from the county sheriff's office. In the county areas, we'd be able to do that.
All right, flag on you, Mike. I don't know.
Flew by too fast. He's besmirching the beautiful and lovely
Alachua County Commission.
Wait a minute. Hang on just a second. Great job, Michael. Proud of you. Did somebody say man bun?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Oh, boy. Here we go. And that'd have to be in a minute. You got lucky. You got lucky. No, that it's not meant to be, is it?
No.
Anyway.
Y'all recorded another video. Y'all recorded another video, didn't you?
Pretty close. Pretty close, yeah. Anyway, Stephanie Smith's on, the sheriff's wife. By the way, mark this on your calendars, David, Michael, and Byron, and Mitchell, the ghost Mitchell. Sheriff Gordon Smith will be our special guest next Tuesday night, right here on the spot. There, our very own sheriff. He will stay with us the whole show. You know how entertaining Gordon is.
Oh, yeah.
Very. So we're going to talk a little bit about everything. My buddy Jeff Riggins is on. Jeff, I hope the shoulder's coming along just fine. I miss you at work, brother. Man, he had to have almost like a shoulder replacement, but they went in there and fixed some things. They're saying he's going to be down 6 to 8 months, bro. Maybe a little more. So,
yeah, shoulder's not a good thing.
No.
It'll get better soon.
Yeah, I hope so too as well. All right. Hey, I do have a little bit of local news. I guess nobody's going to call in, so we're going to continue on, David. So I'm going to fill in for Mitchell Gunner. Oh, did you say man bun? Oh, boy. Look at that. Oh, boy. Oh, jeez, Byron. I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
Oh.
Byron, man,
Byron. There's only one person on this whole entire thing that would get
Byron, man.
Same video, yeah.
Who's in the background? Who's that back there? Y'all love you.
I got you.
Oh, gosh.
When you leave
I'm going to tell you.
yeah.
I'm going to tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen, it's fun. We do this in fun. We can all pick with each other. Hey, and that's one of the good things about our team. Byron handles that big time, dignity in class, because some people get upset about that.
No, man.
But everybody's going to get their turn in the barrel.
Oh, of course.
Of course. So
you've had it already.
I've had it.
Mike.
So has Mike. Yeah.
Everybody's
had it. The only person that hasn't had it is Dave.
Well, it all started with the modeling of
the underwear.
One Mitchell Gunner.
Yeah. That's where it all started. You're right.
We got calls from GQ and
Everywhere, yeah.
All over the
Yeah. Who called us? GQ Magazine. There was another, Cosmopolitan called us, didn't they? They thought Mitchell was a female, but until they realized he wasn't anyway. Anyway, let's move on.
Goodness,
Mitchell's going to kill me now. All right, let's get into some local news. How about that, Dave?
Local news.
Local news, here we come. How about that? You want to go to commercial break first before we get to some local news?
Who we going to go to?
Well, whatever you want to do. I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with some local news, filling in for Mitchell Gunner right after this message.
Brought to you by Fun Point Food and Arcade, 1100 South Walnut Street in beautiful Stark, Florida. Fun Point is an all-in-one arcade and restaurant that is bound to raise your spirits, sure to please your taste buds, and the games will keep you entertained for hours. Fun Point Food and Arcade, 1100 South Walnut Street in Stark. Feel free to give them a call at 904-966-3380. Make a point to visit Fun Point.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, on the spot with David Rodgers. I'm your host, David Rodgers, right alongside my brother, Mr. Byron Bagwell, my other brother, the life-saving medal recipient, Mr. Michael Heater, to my right, the senior producer of our show, the guy that does all the graphics here, Dave Holland, and again, the missing Mitchell Gunner, not feeling too good tonight, and Austin Stevens, who did the weather, which, by the way, Michael, I know that Austin had to leave. Were you going to fill in on the last weather report, right? Sure. Absolutely. All right. Got some local news. Let's start with the American Legion Post 56 in Stark. We'll be hosting a day of preventive health screenings this Friday, May 7th, at their post at 715 Edwards Road in Stark. Medical staff will be on site to screen for carotid artery disease and other heart-related disease, as well as osteoporosis day risk. Visit the Lifeline Screening website at www.discover.lifelinescreening.com to schedule your appointment. What else we got there? All right, well, I've got some other things here as well. The Bradford County School District is having, David, a Teacher Appreciation and Staff Appreciation Week. Help show some love for your teachers and staff by reminding your children to participate in these fun activities throughout the week. Also, Miss Shelley Rogers is trying to put on something with the high school. You know, we do trivia on Thursday nights. Yours truly, David Rodgers, hosts trivia on Thursday night. Guess what? On Friday, from 4 to 6, before we do our live show from the cornhole tournament I'm going to talk about, we are going to do a trivia deal for the teachers. The teachers are going to team up, and they're going to see who's the best. I'm going to do 3 or 4 rounds of trivia. There's going to be drink specials there. There's going to be food specials there. Make sure you go to the Downtown Grill trivia 2 nights in a row. One for you guys and one for those teachers. Byron, how about that?
I could probably go to the teacher.
You probably could.
I used to teach here.
Yeah, of course you should. Yeah, you could. Michael could probably go as a teacher. Dave, you could probably go as a principal. So, I mean, you know, hey, but you know, what the heck? Let's just make it a family affair. The only thing is I don't know if Mitchell could go. Mitchell, can you go?
I want to be
Only if you put your pants on and don't wear those boxers. All right. So anyway, that's what's being planned. So we'll fill you in more on that on Thursday night. Bradford County School Board voted 4-1 last week, gentlemen and ladies, to close Hampton and Brooker Elementary schools. The school district will rezone for students to attend Stark Elementary and or South Side. Well, Byron, it was a 4-1 vote. Of course, it passed. Now, this is not all just the school district's fault, big guy. This is state mandated as well. So, you know, if they would have voted not to close them schools, the state was going to come in and possibly do whatever it is to do that they need to see fit to make ensure there's some budget cuts. And if budget cuts are coming, probably wind up closing those schools anyway.
Well, you know, they already paid the land that's out there that's being, it's going to be developed on.
Right.
And the state's going to come back and get their money.
Yeah, absolutely they are. Yeah, so
That's going to happen.
I'm going to see some people ask me, and have you seen any messages, Michael or David or Byron, on your page about this? I know there's a lot of people that are really mad about this, and some people that are concerned. I'm going to see if I can get a school board member or if I can get the superintendent of schools, Will Hartley, before the school year's over. They're dealing with a lot right now with graduation and things going on right now. So maybe after graduation, Byron, maybe I can get him on here this summer, and then we'll let him talk about that.
You know, when you close two schools that have been around as long as Hampton, and
your mama worked at Hampton.
Yes, she did. My mother also worked at Stark Elementary.
Right.
But when you close two schools down like that,
right,
there's always going to be people who are extremely concerned.
Yes.
Yeah. My response to that is pretty simple. They're going to put your children in a better building.
Right.
A brand new building.
Yep.
And they're going to take three schools that are really old, like we were talking about the other night.
Right.
I went to Southside Elementary.
Yes, you did.
In the same buildings that are there now.
Right.
So I understand there's some logistic problems with getting kids from Brooker to the new school.
Right.
But at the same time, you're going to have a better facility that is safer for your children.
And also remember, if they fall below that 2%, the state's going to come in here and take it over anyway.
Oh, sure.
So, as a matter of fact, that's what Mitchell just said. If they fall below 2%, the state will come in and run the school district anyway.
Run the school district anyway.
So, yeah.
You know, I understand. I really do.
I understand both sides.
People's misgivings about this.
Yeah, I do.
But at the same time, sooner or later, you have to have new school buildings.
Right.
And are they going to build 3 brand new schools, or are they going to build one brand new school that's big enough to house all the children from all 3?
Well, and we all know the answer to that. It's always in the plan.
It's actually 4. Right. Because the middle school is going to be there too. That building was there in the same rooms when I was in middle school. So I do understand there are some concerns. My suggestion is you go to the source. Right. About this, which was a school board meeting, and I'm pretty sure you can find some transcripts of that school board meeting.
Absolutely.
So,
and we'll do our part, Byron. We'll do our part. We'll see if we can get a school board member on, or if we can get Mr. Will Hartley on, or David Harris, or somebody that was involved. And hey, you would be more than glad. I am sure that Will or David or any of the school board members wouldn't mind answering questions. You know what I mean? Of what's going on as far as that. So we will try to do our due diligence, but like Byron said, hey, if you want the information, there's transcripts out there, right, me?
Yeah, and I'm telling you right now, do not rely on Facebook or any of the word of mouth pages on Facebook or any of that other stuff that's on Facebook, Twitter, anywhere else. Go directly to the sources and let them explain to you what's going on. Okay? Right. That way you actually know what the real information is, and there's not any shenanigans being said, because, you know, this is a small town, people talk. Yeah. And by the time it goes to the 5th person, the school board members have, you know, grown horns. And ears, and are carrying pitchforks.
Yeah, and
kids to school.
Right. And Mitchell said the school district is losing close to $2 million. As well, and both schools were set to close anyway in 2023. Yeah. So, I mean, you know, you're just doing it a year and a half early, a couple of years early if you want to. You know, look, Mitchell said, sorry I was not there to go into detail. Mitchell, it's not a problem. We talked about this, and we're giving it as good as we can here. I know you had a little bit more inside knowledge, but it is sad for those areas of Bradford. As Byron said, his lovely mother taught at Hampton.
That was her first, she had her first teaching job at Hampton.
Right. I mean, so and anybody that lives in the Brooker area and teaches on the Brooker area, I'm sure that's close near to the heart, man.
She has friends that taught at Brooker. I mean, she had friends that taught all over the school district.
Right.
I mean, you know, and I taught at the middle school.
Right.
So, I mean, when you have buildings that are that old, they either have to be replaced, right, or you have to build them. I mean, you're gonna build new ones. Yeah. Somewhere else, and they decided to do that, and that's what they decided to do. So that's what they did.
And I sort of agree with Mitchell, Byron. I don't know where you sit here, and I'm gonna move on with another story. But Mitchell said, I wish there was a way to keep them open until 2023. I wish there was too. I mean, you know, I know.
Do we know where they're going to put these students until that building is built?
They're going to go to Stark or Southside. They're gonna, I mean, you know what I'm saying? So you're gonna have probably the students from Hampton probably go to Southside, and the students from Brooker go to Stark. And they're gonna have to have trailers out there. I mean, you know, you're not gonna be able to house all those students in those two particular schools right now.
I wouldn't think they'd do that.
No.
I would think that they would actually transport the ones from Hampton to Stark and the ones from Brooker to South.
Maybe, yeah,
Because,
yes, either
I mean,
way.
You're talking about a lot even further from the kids in Brooker.
Well, true.
Stark Elementary, but that's just I don't know.
Right. Yeah,
I don't know the logistics of it.
Right. Well, they could come from the backside of Brooker and go up this way and go to Stark. I mean, I guess half a dozen, one or the other. Nah, yeah, it don't matter. But anyway, we're going to move on. So, let's see. So, when will the new school be complete? Raymond No says. I do believe, Mitchell, correct me if I'm wrong, is that 2024 or 2025? Michael, do you know that by any chance?
The goal is 2024, but 2025 is going to be more realistic.
It's more reasonable, right? Yeah, that's what we figured. So that's what I'm thinking as well. You have to go to the source Facebook groups to have different information. Dr. Stevens says absolutely, and that's exactly what Byron said. So
go to the sources, please. Don't.
Mitchell Gunner says they do have empty classrooms at both schools, but Mitchell, here's the thing, and I'll talk to you about this. Do they have enough?
Well, not only that, are the rooms safe?
And the rooms safe, and yeah, are they state approved rooms? I mean, some of them rooms at Southside, I've been through there. Nothing against Southside. You went to school there, Byron. I think it's a great school.
It was fine. It was 70s.
Yeah, 70s. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many of those rooms are condemned, buildings are condemned. I don't know. I mean, we're still having school there, so obviously it's up to code of some sort.
Yeah.
So,
well, 70s, early 80s. I don't want to make myself older than I am.
Yeah, man, I know it, man. Golly, fossils don't live that long. But anyway, that's one to speak for me, right?
You need to confirm the organization.
All right. They closed the schools to save teachers' jobs, said the superintendent. Well, I mean, I'm assuming those teachers are going to be placed back over in Stark or Southside, so they should have their jobs. Here's the thing. Now, you're asking those, and of course, we all drive for our jobs every day. You're asking those teachers to drive that live in Brooker to Stark, or like you said, the South Side. You're asking,
you're going to have a tree with that.
Yeah, me too.
Because I drive hundreds of miles every day for my job.
And me too. And that's, I drive 96 miles, 2 ways to work. So, hey, it is what it is. All right, let's move on. Bradford County Commissioners will hold a workshop on the fund of the Bradford County Fire Departments and stations. Meeting will be this Thursday at 6:30 p.m. at the Charlie E. John Center in Stark. If you watched the show last week, we talked to Alan Parrish, we talked to Ben Carter, and we talked to David Rodgers. And we asked them the tough questions. The viewers asked them the tough questions. We did too, Byron. And I tell you, I thought they handled it with professionalism in class. I thought Alan Parrish did a great job in answering about the tax increase. I know we've been seeing some things on Facebook. I know there's some people that are concerned about that, and they're voicing their opinion. But hey, here's a chance right here. Here's your platform, Byron, David, Michael. 6:30 on Thursday night. I don't want you to miss trivia, of course, but if you need to go to that and you need to voice your opinion, here's the time to do it at this workshop right here, and you can voice your concerns. I think you have, 3 minutes to speak? Probably going to get about 3 minutes apiece. You can put your name on the docket, and you can voice your concerns about that.
And that's who you really need to do it to, not the firefighters, because they don't have any control over it.
Right. And that's what basically Alan Parrish said.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Parrish, excuse me.
I brought that up towards the end of last week's show.
You did.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have any control over it at all.
Right. Okay, so make sure you go to that. In state news, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed an order to get rid of the mask mandated on June 1st, 2021.
Finally.
Thank you, Ron DeSantis.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Let me tell you
the Lord, I am tired of breathing in my own carbon monoxide and just whatever else I breathe out.
Let me tell you a little story, Byron, and I'm gonna let you hit this on your side. I just want to leave it with you. So the same guy that I told you, people are out there looking for help. Everywhere you go, Byron, that you see help wanted, help wanted, help wanted. Nobody wants to go to work because, of course, the government is paying them $500 to $800 a week to stay at home, giving them $400 worth of food stamps. I mean, why wouldn't you stay at home? Here's the thing. So I will go to this same particular supplier that I went to, and he told me that his cousin owns a convenience store. It's like a bait and tackle store in Perry, right there off the river right there.
Okay.
I can't think of the name of it, but anyway, I wish I would have got it. So he was telling me today that his cousin was having to run that store. Not only does he have a regular job that he does, but he was running that store. He couldn't find any help. You know what he did? His cashiers right now are making $20 an hour to push keys. Hello, sir. Thank you. Yep. Here's your bait. No problem. Got a 10. There's your $4.29 back. $20 an hour, man. He's having to pay them to get somebody to come to work, David. We talked a little bit about that before it came in. Byron wasn't involved in that. Michael's like, are you kidding me? Here he is. Here's a guy right here, and I don't want to get into too much of his business. Life-saving medal award winner, does a lot of things for our community, and he gave me those eyes like, are you absolutely kidding me? But that's what people are doing, Michael. They are paying those kind of big dollars to get people to come to work.
That's what I make on overtime.
Yeah, I didn't want to say that. You said that. So that's what Michael said he makes on overtime. So you figure it out. But anyway, that is just absolutely floors me. You know what he said? The manager is getting paid more. Plus, they're getting a little bonus on top of it every month.
Of course they are.
So, and you know what? The owner of the store, his cousin said to him, work as many hours as you want. Yeah. Jeez. Well, after 40, guess what, David? What did you say it was? OT, right? It's overtime.
$20. That's $30 an hour.
Yep.
$30 an hour.
To run a register. And then guess what? Here's my kicker. $30 an hour they're making on overtime. Let's take the 20. $20 an hour. Guess what? You'll come in there and work your shift, whatever it is, right? Go home, bye-bye. You ain't got a care in the world. You ain't got I'll be there. What's my shift? Tomorrow? Okay, I'll be there. Ain't got a care in the world. And making that, no responsibility is what I'm trying to get there. No responsibility whatsoever, and they're making that kind of money. Here's a guy that's got people's lives in his hand, and ain't making that kind of money. I don't make much more than that. I told you what I don't make much more than that, and I'm a purchasing agent. I don't know what Byron makes, but I'm gonna tell you right now.
I don't make $20 an hour.
Well, there you go. See,
I don't make $20 an hour. Now I make more than
that is
more than
absolutely
$20 an hour when I get into overtime. But here is my issue with all of this. People that are taking this and actually have the ability to work this kind of job, I have an issue with you.
Shame on you, right?
If anybody that I know is doing that and you want to have a discussion with me, I'll be glad to have this discussion.
Absolutely.
Because the government isn't paying you.
We are paying you. We are paying you.
We are paying you.
That is absolutely nuts.
We are paying your salary. So you can sit at home when you're perfectly capable of getting up off your butt and going and getting a job while I'm out working to support you and your family.
Here's a business owner, Dave.
Furious.
Here's a business owner. Dave owns his own beauty and barber shop right here. You see it, it's hairy business. David, what do you face?
For me to make $20 an hour, I would have to do 50 haircuts in an 8-hour workday.
Hey,
that's working your.
That's 6 haircuts an hour.
That's 6 haircuts an hour.
That's 10 hit.
Or is it 10?
It's gonna be. It's
6, 6.5.
So it's one haircut every 10 minutes for 8 hours straight.
Jim and Nettie.
Well, you know, and that's all of this is beyond the point. How about taking some pride in yourself and not taking money from other people? That's what's missing with this.
can't last forever.
Oh, and not only can it
No.
not last forever, I don't know how these people are living with this. They could go out and find a job. I
Let's
don't
just hope
personally
the
understand that.
Let's just hope the businesses last long enough.
Well, yeah. And right now, you know, everybody says, you're seeing all these help wanted signs. Why? Because the economy's still booming from the Trump administration. They left it that way. Hey, and it's a carryover right now into the Biden administration. Let's get that straight, Byron, right?
Bonnie Stevens had a great question about this.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it's not going to affect Social Security at all anyway, because Social Security is not going to be solvent, but
No.
very much longer.
Can it last 8 more years, Byron? I need 8. Can I get 8?
David, I don't know.
I don't either.
I don't know. They won't do anything about it. Every time somebody tries to do something about it to make it solvent again, they call them just evil people who want to throw Granny off the cliff. Every time they try to do that, and it's politicians that belong to a party that actually took it out of a lockbox and put it in a general fund so they could use it for their pet projects that did that crap.
See that, and that's exactly right.
Well, when did we start seeing the decline on middle class America?
I would be more than glad to answer that, since me and you're about the same age. Because when I was growing up, there was a middle class. You know, back in the 60s and the 70s. But you've seen it starting to dwindle. I think that started happening after Reagan in the later 80s into the early 90s. You started seeing the middle class disappear.
Yes and no. I mean, there's some numbers that you can take out of that will show that that's not right, and there's some numbers that you from different places
That
say
showed it.
what they're showing is that the middle class is normally considered 3 different groups: lower middle class, middle class, and upper middle class.
Right.
And that moves around from one to another, back and forth.
What's the definition of a middle class?
I don't even remember what the money definition.
100,000 a year.
No, it was $75,000 a year. $75,000 was the cutoff for one of them. Now I don't know if that was.
I think that's middle class, upper middle
class. Yeah.
But David Theus has just said something that makes a whole lot of sense about all of this. All about our government slow walking our small business owners out of business, not helping people, but crushing small business. And that's exactly what our government is doing right now. To its own constituents.
To its own people. So what is middle class income? All right, income group. Poor or near poor. This is household now. $32,048 or less. Lower middle class, as you said, $32,000 to $53,000. Middle class is $53,000 to $106,000.
It was 100.
Yeah, you're right. I'm glad you said that. And upper middle class is $106,000 to $373,000. Now hang on just a damn minute. All right, I'm gonna go around the table. Byron, are you making $106,000 to $373,000 a year?
No.
Michael? David, even with your business, are you? No way. I'm not making that. Now, I do have some guys at my shop that are making that.
Now, this is talking
about upper middle class.
But it's talking about family incomes.
Family income.
So if you have a spouse that makes $53,000 and you make $53,000, they consider you upper middle class.
Right. I mean, so, Michael, can you pull up and me and Byron, and I'm glad we're having this, and I know we have it.
It's all right.
We want to get to you, but this is a great topic. We're having a great discussion right here. Can you pull up when the middle class, if you want to call it, started to disappear, Michael? Sure. Let's see when that was.
Well, I got a question. Where's the poor class at?
32,
under 35,000?
32,000.
Under 32?
That's household income combined.
I guess I'm poor.
Well,
I'm poor. I'm gonna go get me a GoFundMe page.
Well, and you're exactly right there.
Well, what David Theus was referencing was something that's been going on for a long time in this country. People are now calling themselves socialists in our government. What they do is they divide nations into two classes: the haves and the have-nots.
Correct.
Okay, you have an upper class, and everybody else below it is lower class.
Right.
And most of the time, when they come into power, they use the lower class to overthrow the government that's there because. I mean, you can say what you want to. If you read the history of socialism and communism, it is not good. And I dare anybody to say that it is, because there's no place in this world, either one of them have been tried, that they have succeeded. Right. So what they're doing is they're trying to eliminate the middle class. Now, people will say, no, they're not. Well, take a look at what's happened through the years through their policies.
Right.
I mean, all you got to do is look at welfare.
Right.
And all you got to do is take a look at what's happening now with unemployment. Somebody's paying for that. And guess who it is? It's actually the upper class, for the most part.
Right.
And nobody pays attention to that at all. Because guess who pays the most taxes?
The middle income class people.
No. The upper class actually pays the majority of income tax in this country. Statistically, they pay more income tax into our
Is that well? Let me ask
the lower class and the middle class combined. So here's what happens.
Okay.
So the upper class is now paying for all this, right? Because they have all this money that they're taxed, right? But they're the evil upper class that the lower and the middle class hate. And think they don't pay enough money, but they actually pay more taxes than both other groups combined. Now, tell me how that makes sense.
All right, so I'm gonna play devil's advocate here with you. Okay, and I agree with what you said, but who gets more of the tax breaks within those confines of poor, lower, and of course the rich, or however you want to call high income? They get a lot of tax breaks. Well, and you're saying they pay a lot more taxes.
They pay
money-wise.
Okay. Pay more money into the
system. Yeah, now, but they get more of the tax breaks. Okay.
Yeah, I mean that depends on how you look at it percentage-wise. Because if you are a lower income family of four, you get child income tax credits for all four of those children. You're getting all of this other stuff for all of those children, and you start looking at a percentage of what you get paid compared to what the other person's getting paid and what they put in, you'll start to find that the percentages are flipped on that. But it's a game. They play games.
Well, it is a game.
Games with this,
right?
And I tell you how you solve every single bit of it.
Oh God!
And I have said how you solve every single bit of this.
Fair tax.
Multiple shows is you have some very brave people up in Washington, D.C. that will actually get rid of the 16th Amendment and pass the fair tax, and it solves all of it. Everybody pays exactly the same thing, but it's overboard, and the people that actually are making more money because they are going to pay the same taxes as the lower people, but they're buying more stuff, actually end up putting more money into it. It would be solvent. That is the most studied piece of tax legislation in history. It will work.
Okay, so Byron, Michael pulled that up. So I was a little off. It started declining in the 70s, the mid 70s into the 80s is what they're saying. The middle class, any up in the three that's broke down in that class. It started to break down in the 70s. I can see that too, because I wanted to ask anybody here, and I won't be afraid to say it. And I know your mom and dad did okay. Did you get free lunches at school?
No.
Dave?
What's that?
Did you get a free lunch at school?
Yeah, I think I did.
So, and I did.
My mom paid for school for it, but I never had to put any money out of my
I'm talking about where the school district provided the lunches.
The lunches.
So you see what I'm saying? Where you didn't have to, your mom and dad didn't have to pay anything.
I don't think my parents had to pay anything, but I'm not 100% sure. That's been so long ago.
So, but look, and that's what I'm saying. When you're talking about, now my dad worked at the shipyard. He worked nice, made pretty good money. We didn't starve for nothing. But, I mean, it wasn't like we were going out to eat at Pizza Hut every weekend or McDonald's every weekend or going to Biloxi to play. We didn't do that every weekend because, you know, my dad moderated his money. He had to take care of his 3 kids and eventually a 4th one 11 years apart from me. So, I mean, you know, there you go. Now, as we all left the roost, us 3 older kids, guess what? Then the income, my mom and dad got them a business. My mama had a tanning salon. My dad started getting promotions at the shipyard. So what'd you say, Byron? What happened?
The income level started rising.
Right. Now, instead of lower middle class, they were upper middle class.
You know what that's called?
So
growth. That's called the American dream.
Yeah.
It's called work your rear end off
Yeah.
and make something of yourself.
Yeah.
That's what that's called.
So, David, you got kids.
Hmm?
Did you pay for their lunches?
Absolutely, I did.
I
You
can
know why?
remember trying to figure out if we're going to have enough money to pay the lunch bill for my kids.
Sure. And do you know why I did that? Not that I didn't try not to. I made too much money. What is too much money? Well, it depends what district and where you're at in the state and the income levels of each one of those counties you live in. So, Byron, I made too much money to get free lunches for my kids, but guess what? Boy, I tell you what, it seemed like every week I was struggling. And that's what did not make any sense to me. I'm like, man, after paying all the bills and everything, we may be able to go out and eat every once, 2 or 3 months or something like that. But hey, it was staying at home, doing things at home.
David, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
And I may have described this like this before. Do you own yourself?
Do I own myself?
Yeah.
Of course I own myself.
Okay. So you have the freedom to do what you want to do.
That is correct.
Okay. Do you spend your life in order to earn money that you bring home?
Do I spend my life?
Your personal property, your life. You
Right.
own yourself, so you're your own personal property, right?
I work for me and my family.
But you're using your life to do that. Right?
That is correct.
To get paid.
That is correct.
What business does the government have taking that money from?
And that's exactly right.
What business does that? We have forgotten things like the definition that I read earlier tonight, personal liberty. It has no business taxing us to an income tax. None. Now, if you want to do something like a fair tax, and you want to say that you have to pay taxes on goods, I'm not an issue with that. But when you start taking away somebody's personal life, which is what they use to make the money that they bring home to their families, because you want to sit at a house and collect a check from our government and you can go out and work, that's where I have an issue with you. And there's a bunch of people that are doing it.
Right. I want to read a few comments. Bonnie Stevens, I know you're 45. You know, me and Byron and Dave and Michael just a little bit older than you, not too much.
No.
But anyway, is it going to be there? Like Byron said, I think he answered that question. It may not be there. I hope it is for you guys. I really do. I'm hoping it's there for me. I've still got 8 years before I can collect my full Social Security. At the age of 67, I can collect my full Social Security. I hope it's there. But you know what? I need to keep myself, as Byron said, in good health, in good standing, so I can continue to work up at least until that point. And then what'd you say, Byron? I have choice then. Well, I have choice because I have put in my time working as a U.S. citizen, working here in this great country, serving my great country. Now I have a chance to not work and draw what I have put into that kitty for years.
So we're along the line, the pursuit of happiness has to pay off.
Here, yes, that's right.
Yes, that's right.
There are a lot of people that say Social Security is an entitlement. Social Security is not an entitlement.
No.
Social Security is a savings program that our government instituted for the people of the United States so they would have money when they retire.
Yeah.
That is what that is. They do not give it to you, you give it to yourself. So if you could please find somebody up in Washington, D.C. that could personally explain to me why I don't feel like I'll have Social Security when I get to retirement age and I have to provide it on my own, even though I've been paying it all my life, please tell them to call me because I've got a bone to pick with them, especially the Democrats who put this into the general fund.
Where do they get the nerve to pull that money out and go buy a $50 hammer or something for the military?
That's not what
use the money.
What they use the money for,
other than what it was there for.
They used it for their social programs,
right,
to keep their voters happy, so that they would keep on re-electing Democrats is what they did with that. And if people could say
still
whatever they want to about that,
if
you go back and look at what they did, that's exactly how you can track that. Exactly what they did.
I want to read Lydia Morris. Did you read her comment?
Which one?
She says, I know a few you can have a talking with. I am so upset. I'm a mom, listen to this, Michael, with 3 children, and I live off minimum wage to support my girls as I do side jobs for little pay to help others. Mm-hmm. It's rough. And she says, shame on them people that are sitting at home collecting them big dollars.
That is exactly right. The problem is they don't care because they don't have any sense of person. They've been taught that everything is okay and they can do whatever they want to and everything will be taken care of. Sooner or later, it all comes crashing down.
I'm going to tell you what. Do we just print money and just like we print a book page, or like we print book pages? Here we go. Mitchell Gunner. Shoot, they are talking about a 4th stimulus package. Let me ask you ladies something, and you too, Byron. Hey, who's funding this? Who in the hell is funding this 4th stimulus package?
Our grandkids.
Our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren.
You talk about the children that are born that already owe $67,000.
$67,000. When you are born right now, you owe to the government. That's if you want the debt gone.
Right, that's it, yeah. That's not even... That's it.
Unfunded liabilities or anything else. That's just debt. It is scary to think of what these people are doing to our children and our grandchildren and us when we get older.
Lydia, I did not know this about you. I pray for you. She says, I have medical conditions and she still works.
No, I mean,
wow.
People do that. Lydia, you have a work ethic. You have a work ethic. You want to do what's right for you and your children.
Yeah.
Well, those are the people that are making it happen.
That's the backbone of America.
They've been the backbone of America forever.
I mean, Byron, if there is such thing, Dave's right. If there's a such thing, who is the backbone of America? The middle class.
Well, the backbone of America is all its citizens that actually
do
their part.
Right.
But sooner or later, the people that are doing their part are going to figure out that it's not worth doing their part.
Correct.
And then what happens to all of your programs? Because I'm telling you, when we get tired of it and figure out that it's not going to do us any good, and we start doing things like working under the table and not paying taxes, well, they'll catch it. Well, you can't put all of us in jail.
Right.
I mean, what's said in the Revolutionary War? They can't hang on.
They can't hang on, right?
You can't put all of us in jail. What are you going to do when you can't fund any of your pet projects when we all just say, we're not doing it anymore?
Bonnie Stevens says, which she's a top fan, by the way. Thank you, Bonnie, for that. McDonald's is paying college semester hours. I was glad to see Ford's doing that. There is no middle class anymore, she thinks.
There is.
There is. It's just
it just doesn't seem like there is a middle class, especially in a county like Bradford County, that the incomes are the way they are in Bradford County right now.
Well, see, and then Lydia, yes, a lot of small businesses are suffering. I agree with that, and we can get into that a little bit. But Bonnie Stevens says, I'm beyond lower class. I must be poor then. Well, it depends on we just gave you the salaries of what you should be making to be in those particular classes. So that's on your own business. I don't want to know what everybody makes. That's none of my business. Hey, all I'm telling you is what this graphic and this graph said, where you should be at, or how they rate you. the Census Bureau rates you as far as poor, lower middle class, and upper middle class. That's the U.S. Census Bureau.
And then the next question is, with the Census Bureau, how many illegal aliens did they count, and where are they at in this? That's the next question I want to know. Because they were told to count them.
Yeah, well.
So how much of this percentage down here that we're looking at of the lower class, which y'all can't see, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That y'all can't see?
Well, in
that
67.
percentage is actually not accurate because
of that, right.
Because guess what? They're counting people that are not citizens that don't pay taxes.
Right.
That we pay for.
See, I'm hearing a lot of this. Roy Jackson said, damn, I'm poor. Lydia Moore says you're not alone. Single income, nowhere near that, and I bust my butt. You're hearing a lot of this. But you know what, guys? Listen. Did I tell the story already? I didn't tell that story, right? So I can tell you this, and we're gonna get ready to close the show down. Byron, I know. Did you want to go over a couple of things? So this has been a great conversation.
Yeah, it's a great conversation, and it drifted over into the national stuff.
It did.
I know a lot about what we were just talking about.
Absolutely, you do.
But I did want to give one small plug.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
We had the first presidential speech in front of the full Congress the other day, and I don't want to talk about that. What I want to do is I want to talk about a black senator's response to it. The Republican Party actually said, this is great, we want you to make your response to it, and he put it out. The guy's name is Tim Scott. The response is absolutely brilliant, and it explains a lot of things about the way certain people in our government talk to manipulate people and to make them think things that aren't true. So he explains it. Now, I will tell you one more thing. This guy has been called an Uncle Tom and all sort of very offensive names since he did this. And I want you to think about this. A black American man is sitting there that you have people calling names. And if the shoe was on the other foot and he was from another party and they were doing that to him, they would be the biggest racist pieces of garbage ever. The media would go crazy and call out the people that were doing that, and yet they get away with doing that to a person because he has an R besides his name. It makes me sick to think about. It is so just two-faced.
Well, you know, we preach unity, Byron, and we hear this, we keep hearing the speeches. Here's the problem, Byron. You know, what is Missouri? The show me state? I haven't seen anything. Show me. I haven't seen this. I have not seen any of this, Byron. Have you seen any of this? I understand we're not in his term, but what in his term long enough? What has he been in? 3 months, 4 months?
Well, there can be no unity when you actually put forward an agenda that is so far away from the base of this country that it's unbelievable. People can say what they want to. The base of this country is not far left, and it never will be far left. Never. Because when people get old enough to realize what these people are talking about, and they get out in the real world, they figure out pretty quickly most of the time that they're not as far left as they think they are. They may still be Democrats, and they may still consider themselves liberal, which we've talked about before is being misused, which I don't, that's fine. If that's what you choose to be. It's people on the far left that are pushing this agenda. There are people in their own party that are starting to talk up about this. You got to quit this. We're going to lose the Senate and the Congress. And that's exactly what's going to happen if they keep on pushing this wacko agenda that they have. And I do mean wacko. You can quote me on that. People can get upset with me. The stuff they're pushing is crazy. It just goes against logic, period.
I want to read some of these comments before we get to the weather here in just a second. Bonnie Stevens says, single income nowhere near that. I bust my butt. I agree. Lydia Moore says, I'm under 15 and I'm so poor I can't afford to pay attention anymore. I understand, Lydia.
We've all been there.
If a kid flipping burgers deserves $15 per hour, $2,400 a month, why is this not the Social Security minimum. I fully agree.
Thank you, Don Stevens.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So small business owners are the last of the pioneers. We go out and kill it and bring it home. Our government can't control us, so they must put us under their thumb by putting us out of business. David Theus hit it right on the head. He hit that comment right on the head.
You know,
What is the world going to do when small business is gone? Just shop?
well, there's several things that can happen with this, Dave. And none of them are good.
No.
Who owns big business? The rich people. Who owns the big business? Name me a big business person right now. You can name one.
Jeff Bezos.
Guess what? Instead of you and Byron wanting to shop at Roy's, you're going to be made to shop at Amazon. Because if this keeps going, as Byron says, I'm not doing it.
I'm not doing it.
Hey,
I haven't bought anything from Amazon since they took Parler off the web.
Bill Gates.
A single thing.
Bill
I
Gates.
won't.
Bill Gates is another one. Did I
He
hear
did
the
too.
owner of IKEA is another one. There's several of them.
Coke.
So,
Yeah.
Coke.
Are you talking about the Koch brothers, or are you talking about Coca-Cola?
So, well,
Brothers.
yeah.
The official soda of
yeah.
blackface. You know,
So, yeah.
be less white.
So, yeah, there you go. So, anyway.
Michael, it's ridiculous. It is absolutely, utterly ridiculous out there right now. And everybody
biggest
thinks
one?
it's normal, and it's not normal.
Bonnie
The
Stevens.
biggest one? Hope.
Bonnie Stevens, more money, more taxes, higher tax bracket. I agree, but you get a lot of tax breaks as well. I keep saying that. I don't know how much. I know they still keep paying it, Byron. I get it, but you still get those tax cuts.
Everybody goes up and jumps up and down about tax cuts. Everybody jumps up and down about getting tax refunds. The government's giving me back this money. No, the government's giving you back your money. It's not theirs.
Right.
It is not theirs. The government has to function. It has to function. But it does not have to take your money personally from you.
Byron, your last week's paycheck. Let me see. You know what you made, right?
Mm-hmm.
You do? Okay, you know what you made.
Mm-hmm.
So, did the government pay those taxes for you, or did Byron pay those taxes for you?
Byron paid his taxes.
Byron paid those taxes.
And that's
I didn't see what it said. The government paid these taxes for you. Because if they did, you would see that money still in your check.
And that $2,400 is about what I brought home in a month. It's about what I brought home. The $15 an hour does not work out to $2,400 every 2 weeks. That's all right.
Well, we gonna get
because once they take the taxes out of it and do everything else, that's what I end up making is around $15 an hour. I don't actually make what I make.
Right.
So you're going to tell me that I've got 16 years worth of experience doing the job that I'm doing?
See, and that's the thing.
And a person that walks out of high school and goes flips a burger at McDonald's is going to basically make the same amount of money I'm making? No, that's crap.
See, and that's where I have a problem with this too as well. We're talking about, again, prime example, I keep bringing it up, Michael Heater. What he does, he's got people's lives in his hands. So do you, Byron. But, you got people's lives in your hands. And for me to hear that man is not even making what that person that was going to be running that store as a clerk is going to be making, or what he said was, that's time and a half for me. That's even worse. It doesn't. Where is this making any sense? People with responsibilities, people that have duties every day to make sure that we are all safe. You're doing your job, Byron, to make sure that your patients get the treatment and the things that they need to be able to, to be comfortable. And you're making less than a person like Donnie and everybody else said, flipping hamburgers or running a register, making $20 an hour because we can't find anybody to go to work anymore. We're begging people to go to work. You have absolutely got to be shitting me. I'm sorry. Beep.
The emotions run high when people talk about this. They start realizing exactly what is going on with this because it's infuriating. comments that make no common sense coming from the other direction. It's like,
Yeah. So, anyway. All right. So, David said the left do not like our conservative, rugged individual. It's about control. Donald Stevens says, I got to bring a brown bag lunch. Yeah, you ain't kidding. You know those little dollar soups? Man, I love those things, man. You know, 33 cents, 34. Man, I eat the heck out of those. Those are good, man.
that and the pizza. The
pizza's good, too. Those dollar pizzas.
good.
The Totinos?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. And a toaster oven. You like those?
but they keep getting smaller.
Oh, it
doesn't matter.
Hey, those things are good. Oh, Lord.
Yeah, those things are good, man. Hey, I can buy those.
Sure,
Man, I can eat off those. Oh, I love those. You know, my daughter Autumn swears by ramen noodles. Oh my God, she loves noodles.
They are.
Yeah, they are horrible. Sodium out the gate, right?
That's what the problem is. They put so much salt in them.
All right, Bonnie, thank you for joining us. I'm sad Brooke and our Minimum's closing. Yeah, I'm sorry it is as well. We got into that a little bit. I'm an 80s baby, so yes, a check was made for the school every week. I asked my grandmother that years ago. She said, nothing is free in America. You got that right. Yeah. Or if everyone just quit paying taxes tomorrow, things would change quickly. They can't put 300 million people in jail.
No, it doesn't take but about a quarter of that. It wouldn't take but about a quarter of that if we just all said, nope, done.
Yeah, we really have no choices anymore. The government has taken over. They're trying to strip our rights. We preach that on a lot of shows. Shirley Bagwell, thank you for joining in, by the way.
Slowly doing that for years. It's not just the Democrat Party, the Republicans are partly
to blame too.
For that because they've, in a lot of instances, they've allowed it to happen and haven't done anything.
That's right. It's about the Democratic Party buying votes for the next election. The American work ethic has always been eroded away. But yeah, I agree. And we can get in that more. Sadly, there's no work ethic. Everybody keeps saying that. Shirley is watching with somebody. Jason. Donnie. And Jason. Dad. Yeah, Dad. Yeah, okay. Why they are keeping people home, keep them from reality, and you can program what you want. We talked about that, Donald, earlier today before the show started. Absolutely. 35% taxes on income, and it keeps going and going, and I won't read anymore. I want to get into a couple of quick things. Real quick. Cornhole tournament. Are you playing, Mike?
At this point, I'm trying.
Okay,
that's the plan. There's been some changes that's coming up here, but I'm hoping to. Yes, we're still planning on getting it.
Are we still planning on doing a show live from there? As far as I know, right? You'll be playing. Byron, you're going to try to be there, right? I know you're on call.
I'm going to try.
Okay, but me and you're going to do a live show, right? I think Mr. Gunner, if he's feeling better, we're going to do that. We'll need the jetpack and everything to make sure we get us some good in there. I'll bring mine as well. We're supposed to be hosting this live. It's the Cornhole Tournament for the Bradford Tornadoes Booster Club, Football Booster Club. It's May 7th. Going to have music there, raffles. It's at David Hurst Stadium. Check-in is at 6 p.m. Start time is at 6:30. You will play the 3-game minimum. First place plays out $300. Second place $200. Third place $100. Contact information: Coach Brian Tomlinson, 386-965-6902. Coach Caleb Dukes, 386-867-5202. Last day of sign-ups is May 5th. What is today?
May 5th.
Oh, boy.
4th. No, 3rd.
Today is Star Wars Day.
May 4th.
May the 4th.
All right, so Cinco de Mayo tomorrow.
May the 4th.
Cinco de Mayo. Are we doing Cinco de Mayo tomorrow?
Use the Schwartz.
Are we doing Cinco de Mayo? Are we doing Cinco de Mayo? Somewhere? Maybe?
Possibly.
Okay, maybe we can get together.
Who's the denial?
Michael is. Anyway, sign up May 5th, Bradford High School football field, $100 per two-man team, $100 tournament sponsorships. There it is, Cornhole Tournament May 7th, on the spot with David Rodgers. Should be at this event, and we'll be talking about this and other things as well. Seniors at Bradford High School, Michael, should have already completed the FLBS and Ingenuity courses as of May the 3rd, which was yesterday. Underclassmen still have a deadline of May 17th. And the final senior assembly was today to talk about senior week and graduation. I hope you were there, guys. There's a wind ensemble. Me and Byron may go to them. Well, we can if we're doing the show. There's a wind ensemble and symphonic band concert, Michael, on Friday night, May 7th at 6 p.m. in the auditorium. So we got something on the football field. We got something in the auditorium. A lot of things going on at Bradford High School right along with graduation. And, put your hands together. Congratulations to Dante Balfour, UNC, Tar Heels, Division I school. And there's a wide receiver and a cornerback heading there to UNC. Matt Brown. Yes, you did. Matt Brown. He won the regional triple jump and has also set a BHS school record by doing it. So he's got the new school record for
Got the school record.
Absolutely.
Cool. Very cool.
So not only do we win
Congratulations, Dante. Yes, you're going to a great school that will use your talent.
Yes, they sure will. He's got a great school.
Outstanding coach.
He will be going to the state championship at the University of North Florida. That's when the state championship is going to be in Jacksonville this Saturday. So I've got to work, but I'm hoping that maybe I can get there. Maybe Shirley and him's going to get there. I want to thank everybody for joining in. Noah Gibson, Jordan Slade, Eddie Sigmund, David, Michael. I'll tell you what. Hey, we sort of did the final comments. Let's go to the weather real quick. Let's see what Michael has for us. Oh, the weather. Here's your latest weather, guys.
Hey, appreciate it, Dave. We'll be really quick about this one. Want to give you guys a heads up here. First, let's hit the pollen real quick because we got some severe weather that's starting to hit off, and our viewers in the western zones want to talk about that real quick. Check out pollen numbers, lower than they normally have been. We're looking pretty good here. Thursday's going to be our best day. Why? Because we've got rain coming into the forecast, and that's what we're talking about on the regional map. Let's go to that real quick, and I'll show you what we're talking about. We have a line of severe thunderstorms that's going to be building right now, starting in on the regional map. You'll see it right here, literally coming in from Mobile, Alabama. You're under the gun right now. A strong line of storms that are moving right up this way. Columbus, Georgia. Tornado warnings and thunderstorm warning in effect for you right now. It is knocking on your door as we speak. The rain is moving further up into Atlanta. You're going to have a rain shield that's going to be with you throughout the evening and all the way up into right up here into Pensacola, Tennessee, and North Carolina. I'm trying to move fast for you guys. You're going to see a lot of rain. Tomorrow's temperatures 70s as we stretch the area. Florida, not so much, 90 degrees, but that will be the end of it because the rain starts moving in. Local forecast will show you what we're talking about here. We've got rain that's going to be moving in on Thursday. It's going to drop the temperatures down. Pollen's going to be knocked out of the trees Thursday and into Friday morning. You're going to feel really good with the pollen decreasing as that. We're going to see the temperatures are not going to drop off too much, but I'm telling you, Friday and this weekend, fantastic. You're going to love it. That's the latest from Austin's Weather Service. Dave, we'll throw it back to you.
Hey, thank you very much, Michael. That was a great weather report. I'll tell you what. You know what we was glad to hear of? The pollen count. Pollen's going down. Pollen's going down. Thank God.
I've had enough of this mess for 1 year.
Me and Byron get the worst sinus stuff. He and him can talk to each other. I'll say, Byron, we'll call each other. How do you feel today? My sinus. Mine too. Don't we? Hey, about the same. I know, Michael, you get a little bit, right?
Yeah.
David, you get a little bit as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just the pollen in the air and things like that, but I'm glad to see the pollen counts down. 90-degree days looks like that's tapering off a little bit. So thank you, Michael, for that great weather report. Noah Gibson says, yay, the weather. I'll tell you what, I got to commend you two gentlemen for something. I've been told by several people, it's not on a lot of comments, but I've been told personally that our weather graphics is the best in the area, to include over Channel 4, Channel 12, Channel 47, the best weather graphics.
All right.
That's coming from people that watch the news. They would rather watch our weather. Yeah. We got two guys that know exactly what the heck's going on.
We don't sugarcoat it.
So we don't sugarcoat it. It's right down to the deal. You know what I mean? And our graphics is just as good as any of those other graphics. Yeah. Hey, and look, we're working off of not as much of a budget as those guys work off of, and look what we're doing. So a great job and kudos to you guys right there. When pollen goes down, temperature goes up.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. 100 degrees.
If pollen was at 0, I would be a very happy person.
Yeah. So that's exactly right. All right, guys. Thank you for a great show. Thank you for tuning in. Byron, just real quick, 10 seconds, give me something.
Well,
great show, great topic.
You know, I want everybody to know that this once again is your government. The money that you make is your money. It belongs to you. You use your life to actually get that money, so it is your property. It's nobody else's. When the government takes it from you, it takes it from you with your permission. Stop giving them your permission. Vote for people who will not give them your permission to take your hard-earned life and do that. Now, I will say this, and I've said this to people before. There are causes that are worth you donating your time and your money to.
Sure.
We've all done it before.
Yep.
This group has done it before for different things. But that is our choice to make. It is not our government's choice to make for us.
Right. Michael, real quick.
Hey, real quick, good show tonight. Great discussion. Looking forward to some great activities coming up this weekend under some beautifully sunny skies.
There you go. Thank you, sir. What about it, Dave?
It's my money, and I want it now.
I love that. It's your money and you want it now, and that's exactly right. On behalf, as we wrap up the show tonight, we want to thank our sponsors and everyone who's tuned in. Remember, we're on the spot, so you can be too. Good night, everybody, on behalf of Byron Bagwell, Michael Heater, David Holland, the Mr. Mitchell Gunner, myself, David Rodgers. We are the DOR, the Defenders of the Republic. And thank you, Neil Bortz. We're also the new high priest of the Church of the Painful Truth. Good night, everybody. God bless.
Good
Friday night. Sports.
Oh, yeah.
Sports Friday
Lots to
night.
talk about.
Lots to talk about. Live.